The sky over the United Nations landing zone was dark, heavy with clouds, and full of nervous energy. Hundreds of soldiers stood ready with rifles held tight. Scientists whispered to each other. Reporters held their cameras high, waiting for history to change in front of their eyes. Everyone on Earth had heard the message. We come in peace. We request one meeting. But no one expected the aliens to actually arrive. When the massive silver ship broke through the clouds, the entire crowd gasped as one. It descended silently, without fire or smoke, as if gravity itself did not dare stop it. The ship was almost as big as a football stadium. Its surface glowed in soft blue light, like the skin of some deep-sea creature. General Marcus raised his hand. Hold positions. Do not fire unless I say so. Every soldier locked in place. Inside the crowd stood one normal human, an ordinary man named Ethan Hale. He wore simple clothes, carried no weapons, and came only because he worked as a junior translator. He had never met an alien. Never traveled outside his country. He only came because his boss told him to stand ready in case they speak something similar to human languages. Ethan did not expect the center of the galaxy's attention to fall on him. The ship touched the ground with a soft hum. A narrow line formed across its middle, glowing brighter and brighter until it split open with a gentle hiss. Everyone held their breath. A group of alien guards stepped out first. Their armor was tall, dark, almost alive, shifting like black glass under moonlight. They carried long staff-like weapons and moved with perfect discipline. But then she came. The alien princess. She walked forward with a slow, royal grace. Her armor was smooth silver with violet lines pulsing like veins of light. Her eyes shone bright gold, like twin suns. Her long hair fell behind her in a glowing wave, shifting between shades of blue and white. She was beautiful, powerful, and terrifying all at once. Even the soldiers lowered their weapons without being ordered. General Marcus whispered, "Steady, steady." The princess stopped at the front of the platform, scanning the crowd with calm, sharp eyes. Her gaze moved over generals, ambassadors, scientists. And then her eyes landed on Ethan. She froze. Her breath caught audible through every microphone. The alien guards looked at her in alarm, as if something impossible had just happened. Ethan gulped. Why is she staring at me? I'm nobody. The princess lifted her hand. The entire Earth delegation tensed. Her finger rose, and pointed directly at Ethan. A long silence hit the landing zone like a wave. The wind stopped. People forgot to breathe. Then, in perfect English, her voice rang out clear, strong, and echoing across every speaker. That human is my future husband. The crowd exploded in shock. What? Is this a threat? General, what do we do? Who is she talking about? Which human? Every camera turned toward Ethan. Ethan's heart almost stopped. Me? No, there must be some mistake. The princess stepped down from the landing ramp and walked directly toward him. Her guards followed, spreading out in a circle. Soldiers aimed their weapons, but the guards raised their hands, not in threat but in calm warning. General Marcus shouted, "Lower weapons. We do not start a war today." The soldiers obeyed. The princess stopped 1 meter in front of Ethan. She was taller than him by a head. Her golden eyes seemed to glow brighter as she studied his face, his hands, even the air around him. Ethan felt like she could see through his soul. She spoke again, softer this time. You carry the signal of the ancient bond. You are the one. Ethan blinked. What signal? I don't. I'm just a translator. The princess tilted her head as if confused by his fear. My name is Princess Leora of the Celestian Empire. My ancestors gave me the gift to sense the one who carries the bond. And you, she placed a hand on her chest. Your presence strikes my heart like fire. Everyone around them listened in stunned silence. General Marcus stepped forward. Princess, with respect, the human you are pointing at is not a leader. He is not a soldier. He is not trained for anything like this.
Princess Leora looked at the general with a calm expression.
Your world does not decide the bond. The bond decides. Her guards struck their staffs onto the ground in unison. A shockwave of soft energy spread out, not painful, but powerful. Princess Leora continued. In my empire, when the royal bond is sensed, it cannot be ignored. If the chosen human refuses me, she paused, her voice turning cold, it may lead to galactic war.
Ethan's legs shook.
War?
Because of me?
I don't even know what a bond is. Princess Leora stepped closer, her voice soft but intense.
You will know. I will show you.
She lifted her hand slightly.
Ethan felt a strange warmth near his chest, like something inside him waking up for the first time. A faint blue glow shimmered around his heart, almost invisible.
What is happening to me?
Ethan whispered.
Princess Leora inhaled sharply. Her eyes widened. There.
You see? Your signal responds to me.
That is proof. The guards suddenly moved. They formed a protective circle around Ethan and the princess.
Someone from Earth's side shouted, "Are they taking him?"
The princess raised her voice.
Ethan Hale must come with us to the flagship.
If he does not, the rebel factions hunting him will arrive soon. Ethan stared at her, pale and shaking.
Rebels? Hunting me? Why would anyone?
The princess leaned in and whispered just loud enough for him to hear.
Because if you are bonded to me, Ethan Hale, you can activate the weapon that will control the galaxy.
His blood turned cold. I'm just a normal man, he whispered.
Princess Leora answered quietly. No, Ethan. You are the key. Ethan looked around.
Generals argued.
Scientists panicked.
Soldiers didn't know whether to protect him or surrender him. Reporters shouted questions.
Alarms from the alien ship beeped rapidly.
The situation was slipping into chaos. Then the princess touched Ethan's arm.
Everything went silent.
A soft blue light wrapped around them both, forming a gentle barrier of energy.
It felt warm, safe, almost familiar, like something inside Ethan's body recognized her touch. Princess Leora spoke loud enough for all to hear. Earth, we request this human under our protection.
If he refuses, the galaxy will fall into conflict because of the prophecy surrounding him. Her words sent a cold wave through every listener.
Ethan's voice shook as he asked. And, if I go with you? What happens then?
The princess looked into his eyes, serious and honest.
Then I will protect you with my life. Ethan swallowed hard. He looked at the humans.
He looked at the aliens. He looked at the princess, this powerful, glowing warrior who somehow believed he was important. Everything in his life had been normal until today.
Now, the entire galaxy wanted him.
The princess extended her hand.
Choose, Ethan Hale.
Stay, and risk war. Or come with me, and learn the truth. And with the whole world watching, Ethan took a slow, shaking breath. The screen fades to black.
Ethan Hale did not remember the exact moment he stepped onto the alien ship.
Everything happened too fast, too bright, too unreal. 1 second he stood on Earth, surrounded by soldiers. The next, a soft blue light swallowed him, and the world snapped away like someone switched off reality. When Ethan opened his eyes again, he found himself standing inside a massive hall made of shimmering crystal walls. The air was warm, heavy with a strange sweet scent. Floating lights drifted silently above him like living stars. He felt small, like a child inside some giant cosmic palace. Princess Leora stood beside him, calm and confident, but her guards were tense. Their armor shifted shape around them, reacting to some unseen threat.
Ethan tried to breathe normally, but his voice shook. Where am I? You stand inside the Celestian flagship, Princess Leora answered.
It is called the Dawn of Realms.
Ethan looked around again. The entire place felt alive, watching him.
A soft pulse of light moved through the floor, reacting to his steps. I don't think the floor likes me, he whispered.
Princess Leora gave a small smile. It is not dislike. It is recognition.
The ship senses your bond signature. He rubbed his forehead.
There's that word again. Bond. I don't understand.
You will, she said gently. But first, we must reach the core chamber.
The elders are waiting.
Her tone changed, more serious, more urgent.
Ethan swallowed. That doesn't sound friendly.
It is not, said one of the guards.
Ethan jumped, he hadn't heard the guard speak until now.
Its voice was deep and metallic, like two tones speaking at once.
Leora began walking.
Her long silver-blue hair glowed softly, guiding the way.
Ethan followed, though his legs felt like jelly.
The path of shifting walls. The hallway changed shape as they walked, stone turning to crystal, crystal turning to metal. It was as if the ship was alive and dreaming.
Ethan whispered, "Is it supposed to do that?"
It adjusts to royal presence, Leora said.
And, to the bond. He sighed.
You keep saying bond like I'm supposed to know what that is. Leora looked at him, her golden eyes glowing faintly.
In ancient times, my people had a link and energy that connected two life forms.
It could only appear once in 1,000 years.
She paused. Only between a Celestian royal and someone rare. Ethan shook his head. Why me? I'm not rare. I'm not anything.
Leora stepped closer. The lights around them dimmed slightly, as if listening.
Ethan, when I looked at you on Earth, I felt a surge.
Every royal born with the sensing gift waits their whole life for that moment.
Some never meet the one who carries the other half of the signal. And I'm that person?
You are. He opened his mouth to argue, but the ship suddenly roared deep and angry. The guards reacted instantly, forming a protective circle.
What was that? Ethan asked, voice shaking.
Trouble, Leora whispered.
A warning in the dark. A glowing symbol appeared in the air, projecting itself like a hologram.
Leora's eyes hardened.
Rebel ships have entered the outer rings, she said. They followed us faster than expected. Rebels? You mentioned them earlier, Ethan said. Who are they?
The Voidborn, one guard explained.
A breakaway faction that believes the royal bond will bring the empire to ruin. Leora nodded. They think if I bond with you, Ethan, the ancient prophecy will begin. Ethan's voice cracked. What prophecy?
The fall of the galaxy, Leora answered softly. Or the rise of it, depending on who controls the artifact.
Ethan froze. What artifact? But Leora only said, you will see soon. Arrival at the core chamber. The doors to the chamber opened with a thunderous boom.
Inside was a massive circular room filled with floating stones, swirling energy lines, and an enormous structure in the center like a heart made of metal and light. It pulsed slowly, like it was alive. 3 elders hovered above the ground, their cloaks flowing like liquid shadow. Their faces were hidden behind smooth masks of glowing silver. Ethan felt his entire body freeze.
I am definitely not supposed to be here. One elder spoke, its voice echoing from every direction at once. Bring the human forward. Leora placed a hand on Ethan's back. Do not fear.
He took a slow step forward. The elder's mask shifted, like it was studying him.
The signal burns bright. Stronger than we expected. Another elder hissed. If the prophecy activates, the empire will be thrown into chaos.
The third elder's voice was softer, almost sad. But without him, the rebels will rise.
They already hunt him. They fear what he may become. Ethan took a step back. Please, someone explain. I don't understand any of this.
Princess Leora stepped in front of him, her tone sharp.
He is not a tool.
He is not a weapon.
He is a person. The first elder replied. He is the key to the heart of destiny. Ethan blinked. The what? Leora pointed toward the glowing structure at the center of the room. That is the ancient artifact. It reacts only to the royal bond. And you carry the other half of that energy. Ethan stared at the artifact. It pulsed. And terrifyingly, it pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. His chest tightened. What is happening to me? The artifact is calling to you, Leora said. One elder floated closer. Human. If you touch the artifact, the galaxy changes. If you refuse, war will follow. Ethan felt like the room was closing in on him. How am I supposed to choose? I don't even understand this bond thing. Leora placed her hand on his shoulder. You don't choose now. You survive now. As if on cue, alarms exploded across the chamber, loud, violent, sharp. A guard yelled, "The Voidborn have breached the outer defense." Another shouted, "Explosions on the lower decks." Ethan's blood ran cold. Leora grabbed his hand, warm, strong, protective. Ethan, we must leave. Now. The elders spoke in unison. Protect the human. At all costs. The traitors whisper. As they fled through the shifting hallways, the ship shook violently. Lights flickered. Distant booms echoed like thunder. Ethan stumbled, and a guard caught him. This is insane, Ethan gasped. Why me? Why would rebels care so much? The guard leaned close and whispered with a voice full of fear, not for himself, but for Ethan. Because, human, if you and the princess bond fully, the prophecy says the royal bloodline will rise to impossible power. Ethan swallowed. And that's bad? The guard whispered the final truth. They believe your bond will burn the empire to ashes. The hallway exploded behind them. Princess Leora pushed Ethan forward, shielding him with her body as fire and debris blasted past. Her voice cut through the smoke. Ethan, run! And through the chaos, Ethan realized something terrible. If the rebels were willing to destroy an entire flagship just to stop him, then whatever destiny he carried was far bigger and far more dangerous than he ever imagined. The rebel explosion ripped through the hallway like a living wave of fire. Metal screamed, lights burst, and the entire Celestian flagship shook so hard Ethan thought it might tear itself apart. But Princess Leora didn't fall, not even for a second. She wrapped her arm around Ethan and pushed him into a narrow side corridor just as another blast roared behind them. Smoke filled the air. Glowing debris rained down like burning snow. Keep moving, she ordered. Her voice was calm but fierce, like a shield against the chaos. Ethan forced his legs to run even though every muscle shook with fear. The ship trembled again, this time deeper, like something massive had hit it from outside. What was that? He shouted. A rebel boarding spike, Leora said. They are forcing their way inside. A guard sprinted ahead of them, scanning the broken halls. The Voidborn are spreading across decks 12 to 16. They are searching for the human. Ethan's heart pounded. They really want me dead that badly? Leora nodded. Because you are the only one who can activate the heart of destiny. And what happens when I do? She looked at him, not as a princess, not as a warrior, but as someone afraid to speak the truth. It changes the power of the empire forever. Before Ethan could ask more, the ship gave a terrible, echoing groan. The floor tilted sharply. He stumbled, falling into Leora's arms as alarms blared overhead. A cold, heavy voice echoed over the ship's internal speakers. Princess Leora. Surrender the human. Or we will tear this ship apart. The rebels had taken control of the communication grid. Leora's jaw tightened. Her golden eyes glowed bright and angry. They dare threaten me on my own ship. A second voice, older, deeper, colder, spoke next. You cannot fight prophecy. Kill the human, and the empire dies cleanly. Let him live, and it burns. Ethan felt ice in his veins. Leora stood in front of him like a wall. No one touches him, she said, voice sharp as a blade. Not while I breathe. The fall toward the core. The nearest wall split open, transforming into a stair-like passage spiraling downward. "This way," Leora commanded. The guards moved first, their armor glowing with defensive runes. Ethan followed close to Leora as the group descended deeper into the ship. The air grew hotter. The walls pulsed with faster and faster beats of light as if the ship was panicking. Ethan whispered, "Is the ship scared?" "It feels everything," Leora said. "It knows rebels are trying to destroy it." They reached the final gate, a massive door carved from crystal metal, blocking access to the core chamber. But it was cracked. Smoke leaked through the edges. The rebels had reached it first. A guard touched the door. "It is weakened, Princess. We can break through." Leora nodded. "Do it." The guards slammed their staffs together, releasing a shockwave that shattered the weakened door. The chamber beyond was in chaos. Floating stones were cracked. Energy lines flickered. The artifact at the center pulsed wildly like a wounded heart. And rebels, tall, armored, with violet-black armor, stood waiting. Their leader stepped forward. He was huge, twice Ethan's size, with a mask like a broken star and a body covered in living shadows. "Give us the human," the Voidborn leader commanded. "Or watch your empire die tonight." Leora raised her weapon, a staff glowing with royal energy. "You cannot have him." The rebel laughed, a deep, terrible sound. "Princess, the human is destiny. And destiny cannot be changed." Then the fight began. The battle for the heart. Guards clashed with rebels in a storm of light and metal. Energy beams cut through the air. Sparks flew like meteors. Screams echoed against the crystal walls. Ethan ducked behind a floating stone as a plasma bolt scorched past his head. He was terrified, but something else burned inside him too. A strange, deep energy pulsed with the artifact, and with Leora. Every time she swung her staff, the pulse inside Ethan grew stronger. Leora fought like a force of nature, spinning, blocking, striking, glowing brighter with each movement. But even she began to tire. There were too many rebels. The Voidborn leader shoved aside 3 guards with one massive strike and marched toward Ethan. "Your existence ends now, human." Ethan froze until Leora leaped between them. Her armor cracked under a heavy blow and she fell to one knee. "Leora!" Ethan ran to her without thinking. Her voice shook. "Ethan, listen to me. You must touch the artifact. Now." "What? While everyone is trying to kill me?" "You must," she whispered. "Only your signal can awaken it. Only you can stop them." Ethan looked at the artifact, it pulsed like a giant heart of light. His own heartbeat matched it perfectly. "But I don't know how." "You don't need to know," she whispered. "Your bond already knows." The Voidborn leader roared and charged. Ethan didn't think. He ran. Not away. But straight toward the artifact. The awakening of the human signal. As Ethan's hand reached the swirling surface of the ancient machine, the entire chamber froze. A sound deep and infinite rushed through the air. The artifact exploded with radiant light. Energy surged through Ethan's body like lightning. He cried out but didn't pull away. His mind filled with visions. Stars collapsing. Planets rising. Ancient Celestians forging a bond between species. A prophecy circle with 2 lights, one royal, one human. The artifact recognized him. It obeyed him. And it answered him. Light burst outward, slamming into the rebels. Their armor shattered. Their weapons dissolved. Even their leader staggered back, roaring in pain. The entire flagship stabilized. The fires died. Gravity reset. The ship had come back to life. Ethan fell to his knees, glowing trails of energy fading from his skin. Princess Leora rushed to him, pulling him into her arms. "Ethan! Are you hurt?" He shook his head slowly. I think I activated it."
She laughed softly, breathlessly, half relief, half disbelief. You did more than activate it. You mastered it. The Voidborn leader attempted to rise, but the artifact pulsed once, and a wave of force knocked him unconscious. The battle was over. The decision of the galaxy. Moments later, the elders appeared, floating through the air with shocked expressions. The bond is absolute, one elder whispered. The prophecy has awakened, but not in destruction. Another elder bowed deeply to Ethan. Human. You have done what no Celestian could. The third elder looked at Leora. He is your true bonded. The Empire must accept this. Ethan blinked. So, what happens now? Princess Leora took his hand gently. Now, she said softly, the galaxy sees what humans truly are. He looked at her, this fierce, glowing warrior who trusted him with her life. And us? Ethan asked quietly. Leora's golden eyes warmed. We stand together, she said. As the bond demands. Ethan squeezed her hand. Princess Leora smiled. Not as royalty, but as someone who had found the one destiny had chosen for her. The flagship steadied, the artifact pulsed calmly, and the galaxy, watching from distant stars, felt a new story begin. A story where a simple human changed everything.